by them and don't even know they're there. Didn't know it. And there they are singing. And they used to tell me what the songs were. This one old man would sing a song, and this is the song they would sing. And the soldiers walked right by them, and everybody had to stay within inside that line. And then they would tell about other stories that occurred during the war, and other stories about how we came to be there, where we are, and that our people in the old days used to live to about 5,000-6,000 years of age. And don't look it. Because you ask some spiritual people and people who believe in this kind of thing, that how long is your body for? This is forever. And why did, I ask old people, then how come, let's say a person got 5,000 years old, then what would they do? Oh, they'd say, well, I want to go home. That's what the other side's called. I want to go home. And they just lay down and look like they fell asleep. They weren't sick at all. And then the other longhouse people would talk about where an individual did set the table on the floor, of course, and all the people would sit there, but it's just table settings and stuff. That's all it was. And they would close their eyes and sing. And when they opened their eyes, the food was there. We never had to go out and gather it. Now we have to. And then the more that we sinned against ourselves and one another, then we couldn't live that long. Now we don't live as long as we could. Because they said you lose the power of the love. A person, if you see an individual who's nearly 80 years old and doing fine and this, that, and the other, they're a very loving person. You know, that kind of thing. So it keeps you young if you love who you are and love everybody else and honor and respect, don't judge and always forgive. And that's how these longhouse people would talk. And if we get back to that again, then we'd live longer and stuff.
Is there a lot of two spirits in there? You know? Is that something that I've heard of two spirits being? I've seen a lot of spiritual two-spirit people in my time. So
yeah, my understanding over the years of being around a lot of people and medicine people and whatever, it looks like nearly up to 70% are.
Wow.
And both male and female. Even the singers, some of them are like that. Have you ever been to medicine dances? You sort of recognize who they are. Mm-hmm. Right now, when we go to medicine dances, there's about 4. Mm-hmm. But just us 5 know each other. But the rest of the people who come to medicine dances don't know.
So you don't want to come out with the people, our people, because we have a lot of, are we like, you've experienced a lot of homophobia there, is that why?
Mostly while I was growing up. After going to college and stuff, the homophobia thing, or the rage of that, or whatever you want to call it, was afterwards. I was a young kid going to the bars and this, that, and the other, and try to find somebody. Next thing you know, they're trying to rob me and beat me up. Or take you out, and got a bunch of friends outside waiting for you. And after that,
was our own people that did that to you?
No, it was in like Portland, Seattle, and stuff like that. When I was younger, I had a lot of how you say, people who I dealt with. A lot of them, to get out of being called gay or whatever, end up marrying. They married women and everything to hide themselves, but they're gay, totally and completely. And some of them will come back to me, are you still the same way? And I said, yes, I am. Though I'm hidden from others, they would want to go have sex, be intimate. So that happens.
And you're only hidden because
After I got up, let's say, getting all this knowledge and becoming a leader, being pushed into it, this, that, and the other, becoming part of the medicine stuff and everything, I used to hear people talk behind my back. Oh, you know, Ron's queer. This, that, and the other. And here I am being promoted to be a leader, a spiritual leader, which I am, which has been happening since I was a little over 30 years of age. The elders would push me out there. Go do your thing. You know it. And then back home, they'd say, oh, Ron's gay. And then all the teachings would mean nothing.
Who would say that? Christians?
Whoever.
What kind of teaching in our background makes us homophobic?
I don't know. Because the elders would used to say, even at the medicine singings and some other ceremonies, don't you ever make fun of a person who is that way. Never. You're going to get yours for it. Because they are powerful people. From not only from a spiritual end, but from another power thing. You do not make fun of them just because they're intimate with another person of the same sex. That don't mean it's none of your business. And besides, they would say that being intimate with another is a very spiritual thing. Why would you put that down? They mainly could be the medicine people. They are the keeper of the traditions. They're this, and this. And here you're putting them down because this is their other side of them. Hell with what they do in bed with each other. It's none of your business. Because it's a spiritual act between the two things. Because they would say, you don't go around using the 4-letter words in white man language and say it in Indian. It don't work. You don't go around saying F-U-C-K in our language, and it does not have the same impact. But if you said it in that language, and in the Baro language, it means something, but in our language, no. You're misusing the word. And they're all parts of who you are from a spiritual body thing. It's they explain it like this with the 5: body, mind, heart, soul, spirit. Body, mind, heart is given sustenance by the Mother Earth, and soul and spirit's given sustenance by the Creator. Love and light. And if they're imbalanced, then you're sick. There's an imbalance within the system of the 5, then you'll be sick. You won't be able, they said, to pray, to be spiritual, this, that, and the other. You'll be a sick individual. So you got to have the balance of all 5, and then you will live long. But she said, this lady would say, but you don't make fun of them. You're going to get yours for doing that, because they are powerful people. They are the teachers. They are the healers. There are several things. Don't you make fun of these people. If you ever meet one and stuff. And she was really adamant about it, telling people that when I was sitting in the crowd. Yay.
Yeah.
but wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
But I don't understand where even some of the traditional people that I know are homophobic. I don't know where that came from. Unless they went to church someplace. That's the only thing I could think of where it comes from, because the elders who were traditionally oriented had nothing to say like anything like that. They'd say, don't do it.
When
Don't.
did you know? When did you first know?
When I was?
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably about 11 or 12.
I know, it was pretty young for me.
Yeah, that's probably my first experience with a guy.
Oh, really? Oh, so you had an actual experience.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like you just kind of had an attraction, but you had an actual experience.
Yeah, and then it went on from there. And then I had several people till we came here to California. So I was about 16. I made it with a lot of guys who were my age, and then stopped. They went to college and started in again. And then about the early 80s or late 70s,